I am caught on the wrong foot. I never anticipated that you are going to do this without any advance intimation to me, but that should not matter. You are asking me when did I come first? What made you come first? In a way, it is a natural question, but I see it in a different way. What made you come here first? Is it really true? Or is it that I had to but come? That things work in a different way, that these things happen this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. We are not aware of the factors which work behind the entire sequence. I can't say what made me come here. I will simply say, I was brought here. I was brought here. In a way, I was compelled to come. I was a student, dependent upon somebody. In those days, we were not financially so well off. And I was in Hyderabad. Coming from Hyderabad to Pondicherry in those days was not easy. But it so happened that somehow money came and I also came. It was my first trip to the south at that time in 1950, December 1950. On the radio, we had heard the news of Shiva's withdrawal and his body in the state in the ashram. Somebody was coming here and I felt that I must go along with him because he knows this whole thing, you see. Things got arranged. I came here on 9th December, early morning at Pondicherry, 1950. We prepared ourselves in the room and then we visited Shiva's room. Early morning, 9th December 1950. Shiva in a state of glory there, glory and triumph. That was absolute grace. I could have never imagined that. And then, after the darshan, we wanted to go back. But at that time, the mother has started meeting everybody. In those days, mother has started meeting everybody except some of the heads of the departments for the routine work. She was not saying anybody at all. There was something which urged me, wait. And then after 10th December, an announcement was made that the mother will use special blessings on 12th December 1950. 12th December 1950. She was in that passage veranda, behind the veranda, and she was in the room in between that passage. That chair is there. She was there. In front of those tiger skins are there. She was there. So, my first visit to the mother was on 12th December 1950, late in the evening. Maybe it was about 8 o'clock or so. Dazzling, beautiful, marvelous, indescribable, indescribable. At that time, I had a kind of a madness. I had written a long poem, The Himalayas Climbing Above Himalayas. Long poem, Himalayas Climbing Above Himalayas. I wrote that long poem, maybe about 300 lines, same day. We got it typed, that poem. And I made that poem as an offering to the mother on that day, 12th December 1950. But that was nothing, absolutely nothing. Basically, what I received was the mother's card, Samadhi card of Sri Aurobindo. In those days, the artist had painted a large number of envelopes with some paintings and all that. And in each envelope, a card was put. Sri Aurobindo in his Samadhi photo. That photo was that famous photo of Sri Aurobindo's Samadhi. The card which I received was with a painting of a hill, mountain climbing up. And she gave that thing to me first time. See. So, the hill is given not for us to climb, but for us to be taken up. To be taken up. That was my first contact with the mother. Then my education was there, classes were there, everything was going on like that. In between, I used to come to the ashram as a visitor. My first visit after that was on 15th August 1952. 1952, when I had a mother's personal blessings at that time, you see. In those days, Mother India, edited by Amal Kiran, used to come from Bombay as a fortnightly, it became quarterly then, you see. After Shepard was passing away, it became a monthly. Sorry, not quarterly, monthly. A review of culture, monthly. My first poem was published by Amal Kiran in Mother India in the issue of November 1952, titled Student. I was a student, I described, Amal Kiran liked it very much, and he immediately published it in Mother India. In those days, Mother India used to make payments to the authors. For your articles, whatever published on Mother India, used to make some payment as a token. Yeah. So as a student, I got rupees 5. In those days, 5 rupees was a very big sum. 5 as a reward, as a gift. Immediately, I made an offering of those 5 rupees to the mother. Sent a money order to the mother at that time, 1952. After that, I was coming every now and then, you see, meeting people. My association with Amal Kiran, personal, was from 1952 onward, and till the end is there. I don't know whether you have seen Amal Kiran's recorded interview of Maurice Shukla on his birthday. He had recorded Amal Kiran's talk. At that time, Maurice asked Amal Kiran, but Amal, who do you think will be able to look after all these things after you? And he pointed at me. I was sitting at my best. So that was the kind of a relationship I had with Amal Kiran, you see, Amal Kiran. When he was not able to do editing of Mother India at all, he made me an editor of Mother India. And I worked as an editor of Mother India for 8 years. 8 years. That was the glory of my part. I used to meet Amal Kiran every now and then, exchange letters with him, send all my composition. He used to comment on them. I had a very personal contact with him. Along with that, I also had an intimate contact with Nirod Baran. So these two persons I know personally as my friends. Nirod Baran, my first meeting with Nirod Baran was in my first visit to the ashram in 1952. I went to his room with a bunch of my poems and showed it to him. He skimmed through them and he gave a condescending smile. Yes, go ahead. And at that time, he gave me his book with his autograph, Sun Blossoms, in 1952. Later on, we were very intimate with Nirod Baran. He used to come to my house every week on Sunday afternoon, on Friday evenings. He used to come every Friday evening to my house here. He used to come to sports ground for his physical activities. After visit to sports ground, he used to come here and spend at least half an hour with us. My mother was there, my wife was there, we were very intimate. But I feel a little sorry that his last visit was such that he came without announcing that time. And I was not present at home. The door was locked. He came here and he had to go away. I told Nirod next day, I feel very sorry for all that. Very sorry for all that. But the most happy, felicitous moment was myself and Nirod Baran used to do Savitri in the veranda of Shevindu's room. That veranda. We used to sit there and read Savitri together and exchange notes. Exchange notes. So it went on for a long time. The whole Savitri we read together like that in the veranda there, you see. In the sitting. Shevindu's darshan photo is there. We are sitting here. So there. So it went on for a long time like that. And I tell you, it is that way to some extent. Shevindu gave me Savitri. And that association with Savitri is something absolutely precious. Absolutely precious, you see. It is, at that time, we used to discuss the metrical aspect, the prosody of Savitri, the contents of Savitri. Many things like that we discussed about Savitri together, you see. It went It was a joyous period, most educative period also, most enlightening, most creative period of time. Reading Savitri together in Shevanda's room for months and months and months like that. Wonderful. It cannot be but an act of supreme grace. If something I am going to carry with me, and I must carry with me nothing but Savitri. She is the one who will use everything. Savitri one. Later on, as a kind of an extension to Savitri, you see, you know, the last dictation Shivandu had made about Savitri to Nirodharan. That was about 3 weeks before his withdrawal, maybe around 15th November 1950. He had added 3 important passages to the book of Fate, second canto, toward the end. 3 important passages he added as the last dictation. His knowledge triumphs by his death. That is the line from Savitri. His knowledge triumphs by his death. That is the line he added at the last moment. His knowledge triumphs. The whole scene is the crucifixion of Christ. It is finished. The whole passage goes on like that. And then he adds, his knowledge triumphs by his death. Now, although the description is for Christ in the context of crucifixion, it is autobiographical. Shivandu is already declaring, it is my knowledge that will triumph. My knowledge. In the case of Christ, it won't be knowledge. It will be my love which will triumph. That word knowledge is absolutely indicative of Shivandu himself. What is that knowledge? Supermind. What is? It is supermind. It is that which will triumph. And that triumph did occur on 29 February 1956. On 1956, the mother has described the whole thing, how this supramental descent took place in the playground, not in a private room, but in the playground. Whole mass is there, whole audience is there, whole aspiring creation is there. It is there, the supermind recital. It happens on Wednesday, the Golden Wednesday. Golden Wednesday. She says, I took a golden hammer in my hand and smashed the golden door that was separating us from the front. And it broke into pieces, you see. His knowledge triumphs. That is what we have got. Actually, in the very first meeting of Mother and Shivandu, in the afternoon of 29th March 1914, in the guest house, Shivandu is waiting for her at the top of the staircase and she is going up and down. She bows down, completely prostrates. During that meeting, she was in a meditation for a while. First meeting, 1914. When she came out of the meditation, she told Sri Aurobindo, I see a new world. I see a new world. And she asked Shebendo, will it manifest? In the very first meeting, she asked, will that new world manifest? Shebendo simply said, yes. This is described by the mother herself in her thoughts. Yes, it will manifest. That new world will manifest. It took long years for it to happen. That new world will manifest is the first seed of the city of dawn, Auroville. The mother began with that. Mother was engaged totally with the creation of Auroville, the city of dawn, for the future humanity, to prepare humanity to receive the supramental light and force in your life, you see. So I will say the genesis of Auroville is actually in that first meeting of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, and when Sri Aurobindo says yes, it has to happen. Yogically, in his own occult way of getting things done, it took a long time. Maybe there are problems, maybe there are difficulties, but nothing going to prevent that happening. Nothing going to prevent. It is a passing phase. It is necessary in a certain sense to prepare ourselves in a different way to receive the higher light. It is bound to happen. And it is here that we have all the faith and faith of the Mother Shiva to receive. Shivandu had written in his last set of articles published in the bulletin at the request of the mother. The bulletin was started in February 1949, first issue, and Shivandu wrote 8 articles which came out as a supramental manifestation later on. In that he has described the intermediate race totally. Intermediate race, the race preparing itself between man and Superman as a necessary step for the fuller manifestation of the supramental Gnostic race here as a necessity. So that was a kind of a yogic pragmatism. Why that intermediate race? Intermediate race is governed, but what Shivandu calls the mind of light. Intermediate race is the mind of light. The mind of light is something totally new in the ontology of Sri Aurobindo layers of consciousness. He had never spoken of mind of light earlier at all anywhere in his vast writings. It is for the first time he is using the phrase mind of light in those 8 articles and describing what the mind of light is. The mother said that Shivandu was having the realization of the supramental light and force in his physical body from 1938. 1938. Shivandu's sonnet, The Golden Light, written on 8th August 1938, he described, thy golden light came to my head, into my throat, into my heart, into my feet. The whole physical is charged with the golden light. That is the first descent of supermind in the physical. It had never happened. It had never happened. Rigvedic, the rishis of the Rigveda, they had some kind of an experience of it, the supermind working in the physical. Rishi Agastya, he took his body and hung like a piece of cloth in front of the sun so that the solar light enters into the physical body. But it could not endure, it could not last. He had that experience, Rishi Agastya. Rishi Agastya speaks of Khanana. I have been digging deep down. That is what I got to share with God's labor. That is everything. So the link was already there, vision was already there. It came and became materially realized fact on 8th August 1938. Mother described that thing later on in her talks. I think in 1954 also in one of her talks she described. She said that I saw the supermind descending the Sri window long ago. And she said what was happening at that time was it was coming and going. In 1938 it was coming and going. It was not getting stabilized in the physical. Sri window was aware of all these things. In fact, as a result of that golden light entering into his physical, the attack was so severe that Shrivindu had his thigh broken on 24th November 1938. The hostile attack was a result of that event of 8th August 1938. The connection is there, it happened. Shrivindu says, I was trying to protect the mother. But then he says, I forgot to take care of myself. Now, I will say that this is the way you are speaking. He does not forget to take care of himself. It has to happen for a certain purpose. It has a place. It has a significance. It has to happen in a certain way. You see, after that accident, the Second World War broke out. All these things are occultly significantly connected. They had to happen in a certain way. And we know the role Shrivindu played in the Second World War. From the atomic fire, the flames of the mushroom that burst on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 came out a new civilization. A new civilization was born in 1945 as a result of that atomic explosion. Now, behind all that is a tapasya, the yoga tapasya of the supreme yogi. Shrivindu was concentrating more and more on that. His whole effort was to stabilize the mind of light in his physical. What is meant by mind of light in the physical? It is the very physical, the physical's mind, not the physical mind. The material mind, it has to open out to the supramental light and force, and that has started happening. So, all his writings after the accident, the last 12 years of his writings They are totally charged with that power of mind of light. It has a different kind of significance and implication. You see, if you compare Shiva's writings after 1940 and his earlier writings, you see a vast difference. Spiritually, great vast difference between those writings. I will say that the last seal, the sanction and seal of the Supreme on his work. Shiva says in his little book, The Mother, this supramental descent is willed and decreed. Willed and decreed. Who willed it? Supramental descent. He himself willed it. He himself willed it. And then it started happening, you see. Supermind, supramental descent is willed. He himself wills it and see that. He wrote that thing in 1927 in the little book, The Mother. He already had that vision. And all his yoga tapasya was driven towards the materialization of that willed and decreed. And the Mother came for action. The sankalpa is the supremes. The action is of the Divine Mother, or the creative force of the Divine Himself. So willed and decreed, that is how it happened. They had to work with. Therefore, after willing and getting it done, Shebanu must withdraw, so that the work is done by her. She has to make things manifest. She has to make things manifest. So he withdraw. So Shiva's withdrawal is important from the yogic development, that it is now handed over entirely to the divine power who will do all these things, and these are the things which are done here. And the result is the mother's conversations, what we have in the agenda. Let us ignore certain aspects of agenda. They are irrelevant. But the essential agenda is the real mother's work. What is real essential agenda? The work she has done about the cellular transformation, the transformation connected with the physical aspect of it. The body is very physical body opening out to the supramental light and force. And she says that it is not for herself she is doing. If this body does it, it means that it will automatically happen everywhere. That is what I call the mother's agenda. So, if we have to mark three important stages, one was long ago, 10,000 years ago, when the Vedic Rishi says, the divine Agni, the immortal in the mortal, the divine Agni, he the Chaitya Purusha in us, divine Agni, the immortal in the mortal. That realization they already had, that it is the divine fire, divine spark, divine soul which is sitting in us. And it went on. Now, the mother's agenda goes far beyond that. It is not only the immortal, but it is that immortal fire, the divine Agni, who will become the supreme being, the divine Agni. She says in the agenda, It is a psychic being which will materialize and become the Gnostic being. She had the experience on 1st July 1970. One of her attendants, Rajuta, when she saw her attendant Rajuta, she saw that in Rajuta, the psychic being is larger than her physical body. And she at once recognized, oh yes, it is the psychic being which will materialize and will become the supramental being. That is the experience absolutely for the first time in the annals of spirituality, in the entire annals of spirituality. Absolutely, for it is psychic being which will materialize. So that is the glory. So it is in that glory we have to grow, we have to live, we have to offer ourselves completely everything to her. It is she who will do whatever has to be done. She says it is psychic being which will materialize this primitive being. And all the occult work which is going on now in the subtle physical world, both by Shivandu and the mother, is the realization of this thing in the earthly manifestation. It may pass through different stages and all that kind of a thing, but that is the thing which is willed and decreed, and it is bound to happen.